Hi, Jimmy Johnson here for the Patriot League Network. You're about to watch Holy Cross versus Navy in Game 3 of the Patriot League Championship in 2016. Here's Ben Gordon-Goldstein and Sean O'Leary with the call.
That pitch inside, and it's 2-1 as George Coughlin gets the start here in Game 3. Last week, he lasted just 3 1/3 innings for Navy. Nick Lavello, the shortstop, will lead things off. That's in there for a strike, and it's 2-2. Quickly run through the starting lineup for Holy Cross. Lavello leading things off. Cam O'Neill, the second baseman, hits second. Anthony Critelli, the first baseman, will hit in the third spot. That is up in the zone, and it's full. Bill Schlick, left fielder, bats cleanup. Josh Hassel, right fielder, hits fifth. Travis Cloney, the DH, hits sixth. Alex Wojtik, catcher, bats seventh. Thomas Russo, the third baseman, hits eighth. And Bobby Indeglia, the center fielder, bats ninth, going up against George Coughlin here in Game 3. Coughlin winds, now his payoff pitch taken for a called third strike. And Lavello is down to start things off in this game and turned around and had a few things to say to Tim Detweiler behind the plate.
Yeah, Coughlin right there had a deep count, 3-2. Lavello spoils one, and then a borderline pitch went in his favor. But pretty good leadoff opportunity right there, seeing 7 pitches, working the count. And as we mentioned in the first game, you want your first inning hitters to see everything that pitcher has to offer.
O'Neill taps one foul, and it's 0-1. O'Neill 1 for 4, scored a run in Game 1. Again, Holy Cross won that game by a score of 3-2. After Navy won Game 1, 2-1 in 10 innings. And so now the teams play for championship here in Game 3. That pitch is a ball, and it goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Defense for Navy remains the same as it's been in the first 2 games. Sean Trenton left, Robert Curry in center, Connor Deneen in right field. Infield, Logan Knowles at third, Travis Blue at short. Matthew Wilcox plays second. Leland Sale is the first baseman, and Adrian Chinnery catches George Coughlin, who falls behind Cam O'Neill. 3 balls and 1 strike. That pitch is a grounder back through the middle for a base hit. And a 1-out single here in the top of the first inning for Holy Cross.
Nice job there by O'Neill on a 3-1 count, getting a breaking ball up in the zone, just staying simple with it, line drive up the middle, get a little offense going for Holy Cross. Coughlin's going to want to work that down. He's had 3 or 4 breaking balls already that have been a little bit high in the zone. I know he wants to get that down in the bottom third.
So here's Critelli, the first baseman, 1 for 4 with an RBI in Game 1. Game 1 today, Game 2 of the series. And the pitch outside, and it's 1-0. Still sunlight here. Sun coming out from behind the clouds. There's the threat of some thunderstorms in a couple hours later on in the day, and then into the evening expected to have some rain, but clear for at least a couple hours. As that pitch looped down the right field line. Sale, Wilcox going out, and it's Sale in foul territory, able to turn around and make a pretty difficult catch running down the line there.
We've seen a number of foul balls out that way and fly balls. That was definitely the most difficult chance, and Sale at an awkward position really made that look pretty simple. That was an outstanding catch. He really didn't have a chance to turn his body. He kind of had to catch it in that fashion, and give him credit. I think it was a foul ball at the end, but boy, that would have been give Critelli another strike. You never know what could happen.
So here's Schlick, who had 3 hits in Game 1. First pitch taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. Schlick 3 for 4 with an RBI. Critelli, Schlick, and Russo with the RBIs for Holy Cross. And that ball in the dirt will get past Chinnery and go to the backstop. Looks like he misread that one a little bit, trying to block it. And it advances O'Neill over to second base on the wild pitch.
It looked like Coughlin got his cleats caught up a little bit there on his delivery and kind of yanks that ball across a little bit. And when Chinnery's looking for a fastball, you don't often see a ball bounce that far in front of home plate. So I think it was the pitcher who caused the catcher to be a little bit crossed up.
So Schlick now a 2-out RBI opportunity. Holy Cross has come through with some big 2-out hits so far in this series. Trying to get the first run of this game across here on the top half of the first inning. Here's the 1-1 offering. It's a bouncer over to short. Travis Blue has it. He fields, throws to first, and it's in time for the final out here in the top half of the first inning. So Coghlan works around the 1-out single here in the first. No runs on 1 hit and 1 runner left on base. After half an inning of play, Holy Cross doesn't score. Navy coming to bat. Go to the bottom half of the first inning. Holy Cross not able to score in the top half of the inning. So Navy will get their first look at the starter, Justin Finan, who makes his 11th start of the season. 1-4, 4.37 earned run average, 55 2/3 innings of work, 37 strikeouts, and 19 walks. And Robert Curry will be the first one to face him. 1 for 10 so far in the series for Curry. Looks at a first pitch strike, and it's 0-1. And Finan coming off that start last week against your squad. 4 2/3 innings, 5 runs on 9 hits. Trying to bounce back from that one. It's the
squad
pitch,
game,
and it hit him.
The squad gave him a nice cushion, and he bought some innings for him, got them to the middle innings for a chance to win the ball game. And not the way you'd want to start here, though, with a hit by pitch.
That one just kind of skimmed Curry there. He didn't even initially react to it, and it was the home plate umpire, Tim Detweiler, who showed that it hit him on the back arm maybe and awarded him first base. So the leadoff runner on. Here's Travis Blue, the shortstop. First pitch showing bunt, pulls back on a ball down and away. Wojcik thought about a snap throw down to first with Curry diving back in there.
We can see how important Navy sees that first run as they have Blue showing the bunt here in the first inning.
So Finan immediately having to work out of the stretch. Swinging away that time, or at least not showing bunt, Blue, and he takes it for a ball, and the count's 2 balls and no strikes.
Looks like the umpire will be giving us a little indication. A lot of the times when umpires look in a direction to let us know where that just missed outside.
2-0 offering, again not showing bunt, and it goes to 2-1 on the called strike. Blue 1 for 4 in the last game. Toss to first. Curry does have good speed over there, 12 for 12 stolen base attempts on the season. Doesn't run a ton, but has been successful when he has. And Finan very deliberate here in the top half of the first inning, maybe trying to vary his times, hold it a little bit longer, not let Curry get a good read on him.
Finan's a little slower to first than the first 2 guys, so he's going to change his tempo so that Curry doesn't get his feet moving in the direction for a steal.
2-1 down and away, and now it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Great action pitch here for Coach Cossey. You can run that steal/swing pitch where either it's ball 4 or you get the guy swinging aggressively here. I wouldn't be surprised if he has Curry in motion right here.
Sets. Curry started to go, then stopped, and Blue fouls it off. And now it's 3-2. Do you get aggressive here and start him again?
I think he actually had the sign there, but he really did stumble off the blocks there, and he would have been out if that was a swing through. So 3-2, I'd be surprised here with the speed of these 2 runners if they're not in motion.
Blue did lead Navy in strikeouts on the season, 39. It's a toss to first, and Curry back in there.
But you have a trust in Curry here, too. He's your best base stealer, so I think this is a good time to put him in motion.
Payoff pitch, runner going, pitch is fouled off. So a long at bat here. As Blue really making Finan work after he hit Curry with a pitch to start the game, start the bottom of the first. Now a couple of foul balls. We've seen Curry running a couple of times already. See if he does again here. He does. 3-2 pitch, a bouncer towards the middle of the infield. Shortstop steps on the bag. They do get the out there, and the throw to first is in time. And despite Curry running on the play. It was hitting the perfect spot for Lavello to be able to start the 6-3 double play. And just like that, 2 outs, nobody on base.
If the runner's not in motion, that's a double play anyway, but that was a little bit of good fortune where that ball was hit because it had to be right on the bag to be a double play, but give Lavello credit. Made a nice turn.
So here's Bourne. Takes a first pitch ball. It counts 1-0. Bourne, hero of game 1. Walk-off home run in the 10th. 1 for 4 in game 2 earlier today. And now his first look at Finan, who falls behind another hitter. It's 2 balls and no strikes. This is what we saw from Song early on in the game earlier today. Falling behind hitters early on. And now it's 3-0, and even though Song was able to pitch a scoreless first inning in that game, then started to get to him in the second and the third innings, and he only lasted 2+ innings.
That definitely caught up to him. You can't pitch an entire game behind hitters, and I think Holy Cross did a real nice job of just working and eventually breaking through. It's funny how baseball works there. That was 1 pitch away from being first and second, and next thing you know, you got 2 outs and nobody on, and so now you want Finan to focus up and try to force contact here with 2 outs and nobody on.
Counts 3-1, and now the pitch swinging away, and he fouls it off. And now it's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 straight batters that have worked the count full here against Finan. The payoff pitch fouled off again. So long at bats for Blue and Bourne.
There's outs and there's productive outs, and I think so far Navy's gotten a pretty good look at Finan, and he works 6, 7, 8 pitch at bats. That goes down on the chart as a quality at bat.
Pitch fouled off again. 3 straight foul balls there for Bourne.
Not sure pitch count's coming to play today when it's an all or nothing type of game, but certainly it doesn't hurt to get the starter to have to work a little bit. It's actually pretty warm out today. Don't think they'll labor, but certainly if he has a long inning or two, it definitely will pay dividends later in the ballgame.
Payoff pitch again is hitting the air out towards center field. Struck it well, but right at Ndalia, who makes the catch, and after a long at-bat, Finan wins the battle against Bourne and faces the minimum here in the first. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left on base after 1 inning of play. Scoreless between Navy and Holy Cross. Go to the top half of the second inning, scoreless between Navy and Holy Cross. George Coughlin faces the number 5 batter Josh Hassel in the Holy Cross lineup to start things off here in the second. He fouls one off. And it's 0-1. Hassel, Cloney, and Wojtik here against Coughlin in the second inning. Coughlin needed 17 pitches to get through a scoreless first. Bounces that one up there. Again, if Coughlin gets into any trouble, Navy does have their normal Game 4 starter, Kyle Condrey, available. The pitch there, grounded foul, and it's 1-2. And so it would be a quick hook on Coughlin with Condrey ready to come out of the pen. Condrey right now is running up and down the left field foul line. So it was Condrey who went after that foul ball.
Staying loose.
Pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out, got him chasing one down and away. Second K for Coughlin, and there's one away.
I think the interesting part for Navy today is if they go to relief, Condrey certainly is a little different look than Coughlin, and so when that time comes, it will be a little bit like Game 1 where you saw Reese and then Capon, 2 different arm slots, 2 different deliveries, 2 different spins on the breaking ball, so that'll be an advantage for Navy if they have to go to the pen.
First pitch to Cloney in there for a strike. Mentioned before, Coughlin coming off 3 1/3 innings last week, 2 runs, 3 hits. As that one lined to center, but it'll hang up there for Curry to make the catch, and there's 2 away. He needed 78 pitches to get through 3 1/3 last week against Bucknell and being pulled in that game. Condrey ended up coming in for him, and Navy ended up advancing to the Patriot League Championship Series last year. Against your team, 4 innings, 4 runs on 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks in the championship series.
I think the big advantage they all have is that they've been in these moments. They're very experienced. When you make the playoffs year in, year out, like both of these squads have, there's very few times where you're saying, I hope a guy has to kind of get out there and get through the nerves. We saw it with Song today. That was his first championship outing. I'm sure he'll be better for it in the future. But Coughlin and I know the entire Holy Cross roster, they've been through these moments, so they're battle tested.
Coughlin had a huge game in the semifinals last year of the Patriot League tournament. Complete game shutout and plunks him there with the pitch. Wojtek takes one off the back, so each team has hit a batter with a pitch so far in this game. Wojtek aboard with 2 down in the inning, and Thomas Russo will come to the plate.
That's certainly not what you're looking to do there with 2 outs and nobody on. Pitch just kind of got away from him.
So Coughlin back out of the stretch now to Russo. Deals a first pitch strike, and it's 0-1. Russo, the third baseman, comes off a 1-for-3 game. Had an RBI, had that 2-out RBI single that kicked off the bag at first. Knocked in a run there. Tried to check, but he offered at that one, and it's 0-2. So quickly 2 strikes on the batter, Russo. Here with 2 outs in the second. Coughlin trying to make sure that that 2-out hit batter doesn't hurt him. Now the pitch is swung and looped out towards left field. Trent will wait back on it, play it on a hop. And it's a base hit. Back-to-back base runners here with 2 outs in the second inning. Wojtek to second, Russo into first, and the 9-hole batter in Dalia will have a chance for that 2-out RBI.
A little too much of the plate there, 0-2. Gave Russo a chance, just kind of punched that ball to left field. Actually, that's pretty decent location. Give the hitter credit there. Just staying back. I think he was looking outer third and did a nice job of slapping it into left field.
Quick word from Chinnery to Coughlin, so 2 straight innings now. Holy Cross has a runner in scoring position to begin the game against George Coughlin. And it's in Dalia now, the center fielder. Stand in with 2 outs. First pitch, strike. Coughlin in this inning has gotten over first pitch strikes so far, just hasn't been able to put away the last couple of batters to finish it off. Down and away, and it's 1-1. Wojtek, not great speed there at second base. Base hit to the outfield doesn't guarantee a run here for Holy Cross.
But again, the outfield's a little deeper than yesterday. Even that ball there that Trent played in front of Russo, just a little deep. I don't know if yesterday he was playing where he was. He might have had a chance to make a running catch there. He made a wise decision playing that on a hop, but I think they take a chance here unless the ball's hit real hard and directly at an outfielder to try to score the runner from second.
So 2 strikes on the second straight batter here in the inning. 1-2 is the count with 2 outs. Now the pitch is swung on and hit on the ground to the left side. Knowles has it. He'll go across the diamond to first, where he's able to get in Dalia for the final out here in the second inning. So Coughlin strands another runner in scoring position here in the second. No runs, 1 hit, 2 runners left on base. After an inning and a half, no score between Navy and Holy Cross. Go to the bottom of the second inning, scoreless game between Navy and Holy Cross. Sean Trent will lead things off against Justin Finan here in the second. First pitch, must hit him there, bent out of the way of that one as Finan hit the first batter of the bottom half of the first inning. Curry with a pitch and comes inside there on Trent. Trent Deneen Sale here in the second for Navy. That pitch is hit the other way down the right field line, but curls foul and out of play.
Eastern Holy Cross do that all weekend. They're establishing an inside third of the plate. And even every once in a while you're going to hit somebody, but it just opens up that outer third for breaking pitches and at times that 1-2 fastball where they're trying to catch a guy looking. I like the approach.
Trent drew a walk in game 1, but was hitless 0-for-3. So that's a strike to him, 1-for-2. So it snapped a little 5-game hitting streak for him. Then he was batting .571 during. Still struck it well a couple of times earlier today. Just wasn't able to record the hit. Now that pitch is grounded right to second on a high bounce. O'Neill has it and throws to first. Trent retired, and Finan is retired 3 in a row after hitting Curry with a pitch to start off the game. That'll bring Connor Deneen to the plate. Left-handed batter stands in, swinging away first pitch and fouls it into the screen.
Both head coaches have to be happy with their starters coming out, throwing strikes, allowing their defense to help them, and really not giving the momentum by giving those free bases away.
0-1, again swinging away, and again fouls it back, almost the same spot of the screen. And quickly it's 0-2 here to Deneen, who is 0 for 4 in game 1 today. That one misses low, and it's 1-2.
As we learned last week, if you give a bunch of free passes to Holy Cross in a decisive game, they're going to win that ball game. They did a nice job waiting us out with some command issues early.
That ball fouled off, and it remains 1-2. A little different game 3 than we saw last week from Holy Cross, as they scored 8 runs against your team in the first inning, as that one hit in the air out towards left field. Coming on is Schlick, and he makes the catch. 2 away.
Ben, you mentioned the Patriot League archives are available. That is one ball game I can promise you I will not be watching back, especially that first inning.
You can just watch back to the series last year here in Annapolis, where your team won the Patriot League in 3 games over Navy.
That one has been replayed a few times by the squad and by the coaches. But obviously we'll watch those tough games as well, try to learn. Just not quite ready to watch that game 3 from last week.
Mm-hmm. Here's Sale. Fouls it off, and it's 1-1 to him. So Coughlin 2 scoreless. Finan trying to get one more out here in the second, make it 2 scoreless for him. Very closely contested games. So the pitch there lined out towards left, and that'll be in there for a base hit, as Schlick will have to play it on a couple of hops. Sale has the first base hit of the game for Navy, and he's a 2-out base runner for Adrian Chinnery.
Looks like Chinnery might have broken out a little bit in that first game. Got a couple hits to right field early in the game, but then that last time really drove the ball to the gap in right center. Put a real nice swing on that ball.
He had been talking about the struggles of Chinnery. Ends up with a 3-hit game there, and got himself into scoring position in the 9th inning, try to tie up the game. Maybe couldn't get him home, though. Now he bats with 2 outs, runner up first here, and that pitch hit him. Second hit batter by Finan. And back-to-back 2-out base runners here for Navy, is Finan a guy who did hit 8 batters with pitches in the regular season, so the command maybe not the best for him, and he's already hit 2 in this game. And so Navy now runner in scoring position here with 2 outs. Matthew Wilcox will come to the plate. Guy who knocked in the first run for Navy on a bunt. Here he'll be swinging away with 2 outs.
Another big moment here with 2 outs for Navy. I don't believe they've had a 2-out runners in scoring position hit this weekend.
First pitch right in there for a strike. Nice fastball there, and it's 0-1. So Sale at second and Chinnery at first. Again, not great speed for Navy on the base pads, but 2 outs. The 8-hole batter Wilcox up at the plate. Plays off that one, and it's 1-1.
Again, whether they're tough innings or easy innings for the pitchers, they just want zeros at this point in a deciding Game 3 elimination game. The bullpens are, again, pretty fresh. They just got to battle their way through and again, match 0 for 0.
A bunt single for Wilcox, his only hit so far in the Patriot League tournament. So he looks at a strike, and it's 1-2. Patient hitter who led the team in walks in the regular season with 34 of them. He's among the Patriot League leaders in that category. Bats here, Sale at second and Chinnery at first. One-two delivery. Got a piece of it, fouled it off at the plate.
Certainly a great to work the counts, but I think in this situation, you get a fastball. When he took the fastball 1-1, runners in scoring position, 2 outs. I think they'd like to see him be aggressive in that situation. Now let's see if he can battle and work to get one of his pitches here again. Certainly the advantage flips to the pitcher at a 1-2 count.
Finan again, 1-2, offering and hit him. Third batter that Finan has hit with a pitch, second straight with 2 outs, and now all of a sudden the bases are loaded here for Navy. A couple of balls getting away from Finan, and I believe I saw somebody sprint down to the Holy Cross bullpen. Capon sprinting down there, who got the save in game 1. And now down there, and may see him early on here in the third game of this series, and an early mound visit as well, after back-to-back hit batters have loaded up the bases with 2 outs, and this looked like it might be a relatively easy inning for Finan. 2 quick outs, then single, hit batter, and all of a sudden they're loaded.
And that last one looked like a breaking ball that just got away. Certainly when you're working in or third and trying to set up that fastball, that's one thing. It just seems like he doesn't quite have a feel for some of those pitches. He'll have one where he's spotted up, and then the next one where it's just kind of slipping out of his hand. And I think Coach Senda's doing a great job right here. There's no runs on the board. He's just saying, make a pitch to Knowles, get a ground ball, keep us at 0. And as you mentioned, they might go to the bullpen even if he doesn't give a run up. This is just a moment where he's got to bear down and just get one more hitter for the team. And if I'm Knowles, I'm aggressive here. I'm not actually thinking to myself, I got to work a walk or get hit by a pitch. He's looking for maybe Finan to be too fine, just maybe misses his spot and gets a chance to drive one.
A little bit more pressure on the catcher now as well. Wojtek with the runner over at third base. Finan did lead the team in wild pitches. He's got 9 of them on the year. He's already hit 3 batters in this game, and now they're loaded for Navy here with 2 outs, and Logan Knowles to the plate. First pitch, a little low. Knowles 0 for 4, first game today. Everybody back and deep in the infield, straight away in the outfield, somewhat shallow. That's in there for a strike.
That's a good job by Knowles. I think he was looking middle out, and that ball was under his hands, took it for a strike. Still got an even count.
Sale at third, Chinnery at second, Wilcox at first, 2 down, bases loaded. Finan winds, and that one in there for a strike. Couple of tough pitches there from Finan, and he gets ahead of Knowles 1-2. He's ahead of Wilcox 1-2 as well, and plunked him. Here's the pitch, swinging a grounder foul.
You hear the emotion of the crowd, living and dying with every pitch. Gadou's on one side and Oz on the other. Just hoping that ball was going to be fair or foul, and it was about 25 feet foul, and yet off the bat I think folks were just rooting a little harder that it would stay fair.
Big spot in this game for Knowles, try to get the first run of the game across. Again, the 1-2 deliveries, a bouncer over to second. O'Neill waits back on it, he has it, throws to first, and Holy Cross able to get out of the bases loaded jam here in the second inning. No runs in the inning on 1 hit, and Navy will leave them loaded here in the second. Head to the third, no score between Navy and Holy Cross. No score between Navy and Holy Cross. Both teams have had their opportunities over the first couple of frames. Holy Cross leaving a runner in scoring position in each the first and second innings, and Navy just there in the bottom half of the second leaves the bases loaded. Coughlin will face the top of the lineup here in the third. Nick Lovello leads things off, and it's a first pitch ball to the shortstop, and it's 1-0. It's in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Lovello, O'Neill, Critelli here in the third. Top of the lineup for Holy Cross. Rides up and in. Lovello struck out looking his first time up. One of a couple of Ks that Coughlin has in this game. That one's a strike, and quickly it's 2-2.
Lovello with about 40 walks on the season, just works counts about as well as anybody in this conference.
One's grounded foul. Kicks back onto the playing surface as it remains 2-2. And you mentioned that. Lovello leading the league in walks this season, so great on base percentage for him despite not getting a ton of hits this season. He ended up with just a .228 batting average on the season, but has had some big hits already here in the championship series. Pitch tried to check, he offered at one down and away. Couldn't tell if he was frustrated with the call or himself, but he's rung up for the second time. And that's the first out in the third.
Much better breaking ball there by Coughlin. Sharper, later break. And actually in that case, I think Lavola was actually disappointed. He got fooled a little bit and swung. He knew he went through that pitch.
So here's Cam O'Neill. He's got one of the 2 hits so far in this game. And the first pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. So 3 Ks now for Coughlin. He struck out the leadoff batter in each of the first 3 innings now. Pitch is low, and it's 1-1.
Definitely made an adjustment on that breaking ball. We talked in the first inning, was up a little bit. This inning, we're seeing a tight rotation, hitting his spots. Even there, just missed down low.
Again, misses low, 2-1.
Certainly want the strikes, but if you're going to miss, you want them in locations where best they're probably going to do on that is a ground ball single.
Now he falls behind him, 3-1. Coughlin walked 23 batters in 61 innings of work. Maybe staff as a whole really does not walk very many batters. That one jammed him and he fouls it off, and now it's full.
Navy pitching staff does a great job. The pitching coach, Coach Applegate, does a great job. You come into these weekends knowing on the scouting report they're going to throw strikes, they're going to pump the zone, and that's not a fluke. From 1 through 4 in the rotation and the relievers, they're all strikeout to walk ratios are outstanding.
Payoff pitch just missed outside. And Cam O'Neill's on base for the second time in this game. 1 out walk. Anthony Critelli to the plate.
I set that one up well, huh? That's a pretty good location, though.
You look at what Coughlin did. Again, those 23 walks. That's actually the most of any of the 4 Navy starters, and still a pretty low number. So they've done a good job with the command, but walks 1 there. On the other side, we've already seen Finan hit 3 batters with pitches. He's been a little off, and now it's Critelli. First pitch swing, grounds it to third, could be 2. Knowles to second for 1, relay on to first is in time. They turn the around the horn 5-4-3 double play, and Coughlin erases the walk, and the side is retired. No runs here in the third inning against Coughlin on no hits, and after the double play, nobody left on base. Middle of the third, still scoreless here between Navy and Holy Cross. In the 25th anniversary of the Patriot League this year, we're in Game 3 of the Patriot League Championship Series. Navy's won the Patriot League a few times, most recently in 2011, so trying to get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since then. For Holy Cross, they have never won the Patriot League in the league's 25th year, and so trying to get to the NCAA tournament for the first time since the formation of the Patriot League. And it's a scoreless game here in the third. Justin Finan is back out. Left the bases loaded in the second inning, and now Navy has the top of the lineup due up here in the third inning with Robert Curry starting things off. It's a first pitch strike. 3 hit batters so far for Finan, but got the ground out by Knowles to end the second.
And as we talked, you just got to grind. You got to figure ways out and give Finan credit. When the pressure was on there, he made the quality pitch.
Pitch there is lined out towards right. Coming in is Hassel, and he'll make the play. Curry quite a few times in the series so far go the other way, and decent contact for him, but right in the direction of Hassel, and there's 1 away.
That's a good swing. Breaking ball out of third, just stayed behind it. If that's 15 feet to the left, it's a single or a double. You really can't place the ball. You can just hit it as hard as you can, and that's why they put the outfielders out there, to make those plays.
Here's Blue. Called a strike, and it's 0-1. Blue hit into a double play his first time up after a long at bat against Finan. 3-2 count. They had Curry running and hit it right towards the bag at second. And Lavello was able to step on the bag and throw to first. One of 2 double plays we've seen in this game so far. Looks like there is some action going out there in the Holy Cross bullpen as well. That Finan pitch bounced about 3 feet short of the plate.
It's amazing when they could spot it right on the outside corner, and then a pitcher, we all see them do it. They'll miss by 3 or 4 feet on the next pitch, and I'll bet you this one goes right back to the black.
one.
Job there by the catcher. Another great block.
So it's 2-2 now. And Navy had the bases loaded there in the second inning. Couldn't come up with the 2-out hit. Pitch there is lined sharply foul right side. Remains 2-2. So Navy won game 1, 2-1. Walk-off fashion in 10 innings. Stephen Bourne with the walk-off home run. Holy Cross, the 3-2 victory in game 2 earlier today. Now playing game 3 as that one again is hit foul. So the teams have both scored the exact same number of runs so far in this series, 4-4.
They played 6 times. They've each won 3. Equal number of runs this weekend. Couldn't be a more even matchup for this championship.
Pitch there, lined over the head of the first baseman and down the right field line for a base hit. Blew around first, lost his elbow guard. He'll get into second with the feet first slide. It's a 1-out double for Travis Blue. Haven't seen many extra base hits for Navy, but they're one from Blue, and he's into scoring position with 1 out in the third.
That's indicative of good pitching when you don't see a lot of extra base hits. That means they're locating even balls that are hit hard or pitchers' pitches. That was actually a real nice job of hitting again. Their approach this game seems to be to try to take the right-handers trying to take the ball to right field there, and that was a liner right on the line there, and Blue right out of the box was thinking too.
Here's Bourne, left-handed batter standing in. First pitch low, and it's 1-0. So middle of the lineup will get a crack here for Navy with a runner in scoring position. Bourne, the team's leading RBI man Sean Trent waits on deck. Bourne again with that walk-off home run in game 1. Pitch outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to him.
It's a good job by Bourne. If I'm finding right here, I'm being pretty precise with my pitches. And at the same time, he's got to trust Trent behind him. If he doesn't get anything to hit, take the walk.
Pitch is low, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. First base is open, but again, Sean Trent waits on deck. Pitch taken low, 4 straight pitches out of the zone, so Finan has now hit 3 batters, walked 1. Navy has 2 runners aboard. And the question now for Holy Cross is how quickly they'll elect to go to the pen. There is action going on out there in the Holy Cross bullpen. Wojtek is going to go out and have a chat with them and maybe try to buy a little bit more time here. First and second, 1 out here in the third. Sean Trent coming to the plate. Trent did ground out in the second inning, so 3 ground ball outs so far in this game for Finan.
This certainly wouldn't be a moment during the regular season you'd even think about taking the starter out. It would be more about changing momentum. Finan's just not as sharp as he has been on his best days. At the same time, there's still zeros on the board, and I think he's going to let him face Trent here and see what he can do.
So Trent will dig in here against Justin Finan. With Blue at second, the double, Bourne at first, and now a mound visit here for Holy Cross. The way he came running out of the dugout,
He already made a move.
makes you think he's going to make a move, and he
No,
did.
he already did. Very often head coaches will make that decision before we get there so we don't get talked out of it. And he got to the first baseline, and he had already pointed to the bullpen.
So Justin Finan's going to be pulled from this game with runners at first and second, 1 out here in the third inning. We have a pitching change, scoreless game between Navy and Holy Cross. We'll get you the full details of the change after this. Holy Cross is going to dip into the bullpen early in this game. We said it before that they would not be scared to go to the bullpen early on in this game, and Finan pulled after just 2 1/3 innings. It was Capon who finished off game 1 for Holy Cross, as Capon was able to finish the final 2 1/3 innings. He did allow a run on 2 hits in that game. Threw 36 pitches already today, and Capon on here. And would you imagine it's a situation Capon just on to try to get out of the third inning, not allowing any runs, and then we'll see from there for Holy Cross.
He probably believes he has extended innings in him. remains to be seen if he can get him deep into the ball game, but this is a good move to get him in the game this early.
So Capon faces Trent. First pitch sails to the backstop, and both runners are going to advance.
Same thing there. Breaking ball just seemed to slip out of his hand a little bit.
That pitch right to the backstop. First one that he throws, and Blue to third, Bourne to second. So now 2 runners in scoring position with just 1 out in the inning. Holy Cross is going to play middle of the infield back. They'll concede a run, try to prevent a bigger inning. Corner infielders are playing in. Now the pitch, chased one way up high in the zone there and fouled it back.
It was up, but I'll tell you what, I've seen Trent handle that pitch. I think sometimes you know your own hitters. I've seen him enough hit that pitch. I'd say attack if I get a fastball up at the letters like that. Put a pretty good swing on it.
Navy did start to hit Capon a bit in the top of the 9th inning. So that pitch reaches out and flies it in the air out towards center field. And Dahlia coming in. We'll see if it's deep enough to score Blue. He will try to tag and now stops. And it was a pretty good throw home. As Blue bluffed home, maybe just trying to induce a bad throw from Indalia, and Trent just couldn't quite get that one deep enough to the outfield to give Blue the opportunity to score from third. So after the wild pitch, the fly out to center, and Capon has 2 outs here in the third, and it's up to Connor Deneen for Navy.
Indalia did a really nice job getting his body behind that throw. He does have a plus throwing arm, and obviously as opposing coaches, you know that. And even with Blue's speed, I don't think that would have been a good chance. And after he released it, we saw he would have been out by a good 15 feet.
Pitch is a strike. 0-1. Deneen hitless so far today, 0 for 5. One for 8 overall in the series, and bats with 2 in scoring position and 2 outs here in the third. Navy left him loaded in the second. Now 2 more runners in scoring position. Holy Cross tries to wriggle out of another jam. Pitch is off the end of the bat to shallow center field, and Dahlia throws initially, comes in, and Capon gets out of another jam here in the 3rd inning. No runs for Navy as they strand 2 more runners in scoring position. We'll head to the 4th, all scoreless between Navy and Holy Cross. Go to the 4th, George Coughlin back out for his 4th inning of work. His first pitch to the cleanup batter, Bill Schlick, is taken for a ball low, and it's 1-0. 4-5-6 to up here for Holy Cross as Navy. Couple of good opportunities in the 2nd and 3rd, but they've left 5 runners on base over the last 2 innings.
We all talk about getting that runner in from third with less than 2 outs, but I think fans and sometimes spectators in the stands are surprised to hear 55% of the time is the percentage you get them in. It's really difficult. The pitcher bears down. You would think it'd be 70, 80%. It really isn't. And Trent not coming through as much as they want him to. It's almost a 50-50 proposition on that play, and so give the pitcher credit. He won that battle.
A little jam shot pop up to second that Wilcox able to put away, so Coughlin has the first out here in the 4th. Faced the minimum in the 3rd, got an inning-ending double play after he had runners in scoring position on against him in the 1st and 2nd inning. So both teams have had their shots so far in this game. Nobody able to push one across as of yet. And Hassel looks at a first pitch ball.
Guess if we were playing chess, we would just say Navy's slightly ahead because they're one reliever into the ball game, but really don't know how much of a difference that's going to make with everybody's sort of all hands on deck, probably in both dugouts, both bullpens at this point.
Count evened up at 1-1. Again, if Coughlin gets into any trouble, Condrey would be the first one out of the pen. A normal Game 4 starter, so a guy very capable of going multiple innings. And it's clear from this 2 games today that the reliever Holy Cross trusts most right now is George Capon. Getting the save in Game 1, comes in and big spot here in Game 2 and gets out of a 2nd and 3rd 1-out jam.
That may have been just as important of an outing as he had in the first game. That was first game, obviously getting a save, staving off elimination, but right there was a huge momentum turn getting out of that inning.
Here's the 2-2 offering now, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Coughlin's got a strikeout in each of the 4 innings so far in this game, 4 total. 2 up and 2 down, looking for his first clean frame. Travis Cloney to the plate.
It's interesting. He's got his 4 strikeouts on 2 very quality hitters, and we always talk about it with our hitters. It just seems like sometimes you see a certain pitcher better, or you struggle seeing a certain pitcher, and you'd have to imagine Hassel and Lavola are just having difficulty picking up that breaking pitch.
So Clooney fouls that first one off. This is already deeper into the game for Coghlan than he went last week, as that one is hitting the air out towards left, curling back towards Trent, though. And he makes the catch for the final out here in the 4th inning. So an easy 1-2-3 inning for Coghlan here in the 4th. Head to the bottom half of the 4th inning, still scoreless between Navy and Holy Cross. So we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It's a scoreless game here between Navy and Holy Cross. Navy has had some very good opportunities. George Capon, though, who's back out here for the 4th inning, got out of a big jam there in the 3rd, came on first and second, 1 out. Threw a wild pitch on his first pitch and then got back-to-back flyouts, got out of the inning. Now here's Leland Sale, who looks at a first pitch strike, and it's 0-1. Sale, Chinnery, Wilcox here in the 4th. Pitch there is hitting the air out towards center. And Dahlia coming on, and in right center, he'll make the catch. And Capon, 3 flyouts to center for his 3 outs that he's gotten so far. Adrian Chinnery will come to the plate.
That arm action he has, he's going to get a little sink, kind of run in on the hitters there and just jam Sale a little bit. And that's when you can tell you have that late movement. When you know a fastball's coming, you still can't get quite barreled up.
So here's Chinnery. Pitch up high, and it's 1-0. Chinnery faced Capon in the 9th in Game 1 and hit that double into the alley in right center field that brought Navy within a run. Got the tying run in scoring position, but couldn't get it in. So now he faces him for 2nd time.
Yeah, uniquely, this reliever's in the game for the first time today, or first time in this game, obviously, but he's seen most of these hitters once, so they have a little bit of a look on him, a little bit of a read.
Chinnery was hit by a pitch his first time up, one of 3 batters that find and hit with pitches over the first couple of innings. He's out of the game after 2 1/3 innings, won't factor into the decision. That's a called strike, and it's 2-2. Bounces up there, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Finan through, or rather Capon through 36 pitches in Game 1 today. Now back out here for Game 2. Just trying to give him every pitch he has left in him. That pitch is swung and hit high in the air out towards left center field. Schlick and Dahlia over, and it's Dahlia again who makes the play. And Capon now 4 flyouts to center he has gotten. And there's 2 away for Wilcox.
Once again, location. He knew the fastball was coming, was able to get enough. He certainly has arm strength left right now. We talk about maybe not getting real deep in the game, having that many pitches, but certainly right now looks just as sharp as he did in the first game.
Pitch is low, and it's 1-0. Again, teams split the first 2 games, so we're in Game 3 of the Patriot League Championship Series. That's a called strike, and it's 1-1. Navy Game 1 win, extra inning. Stephen Bourne walk-off home run. Holy Cross won earlier today, 3-2. Now tied 0-0 here with 2 outs and the bases empty in the 4th. These have been pretty well-pitched games, even though Game 1 today, Navy had to go to the bullpen early, and now Game 2 today, Holy Cross going to the bullpen early. Teams getting the job done from their relief staff.
It shows the confidence both coaches have in their bullpen that you could take quality starters out early in the game because the other guy just may be sharper, and they just know that that's a guy that could change the tide as both have done in Game 2 and now here in Game 3.
2 pitches hitting the air down the left field line, Schlick ranging over, and on the run, he'll make the play. So Capon has gotten 5 fly ball outs, and he has retired all 5 batters that he's faced so far in this game. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left on base. On to the 5th inning we go, still scoreless between Navy and Holy Cross. It's a count now 1-2.
That's just another weapon. He gets an outside fastball. It's a kind of an easy rock and fire throw. And what that's trying to do is cut down on that secondary lead, maybe keep that from beating a 6-4 fielder's choice, and that's a great job by the catcher It's the little stuff in the game that matters in these 0-0 games.
1-2 pitch, hits it in the air out towards right. Deneen going over. Makes the catch. There's 2 away now. Here in the 5th, runner retreats back to first, and so Coghlan a chance to work around that leadoff single. He's retired 2 in a row since then. And Nick Lavello, who's struck out twice so far, will come to the plate.
Really give Coghlan credit. Just very poised in this outing. We've seen a bunch of pitchers go out in the biggest moments of their seasons and really just go ahead and pitch some of their best baseball.
Trying to make it 5 scoreless innings so far. Navy had some chances in the 2nd and 3rd, couldn't get him across. Coghlan, runners in scoring position against him in the 1st and the 2nd. Pitch again, up and in. It's 2-0 here to Lavello. Cam O'Neill waits on deck. He's been on base twice so far in this game. Now Lavello, first time that he sees a good hitter's count here against Coghlan. Gets that one over. It's 2-1.
The way O'Neill's swinging the bat here, I know he's going to attack Lavello. He's really had some good looks this weekend. Again, hasn't had as many base hits as good swings. But I think Coglin's sitting here thinking, got to make a quality pitch and try to end the inning right here.
Pitch, swing and a miss. They tied him up a little bit there.
Really been impressed with both teams using both sides of the plate. Give credit to their catchers and to their coaches for their scouting reports, because it's not a matter of what to do to get hitters out. We all kind of know what we can do. You've got to execute, and both sides have been pretty terrific from the start of game 1.
Toss to first. Coghlan, 4 strikeouts so far in the game. He's got 1 in every inning. Now 2-ball, 2-strike count here on Lavello with 2 outs in the 5th and a runner at first. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out, got him with the off-speed pitch there. 5th time that Coghlan has recorded a strikeout in this game. 3rd strikeout of Lavello. Nasty there to finish things off here in the top of the 5th inning. So the leadoff runner stranded at first base. Head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Capon back out here for the 5th inning. He has retired all 5 batters that he has faced since coming in with 2 runners on in the 3rd. Logan Knowles will stand in and take a first pitch ball. It's 1-0. So it's 9-1-2 due up here in the 5th inning. Knowles, Curry, Blue. That pitch is hitting the air out towards center. Right at Indalia. It's going to be another fly ball out here for Capon. He has retired all 6 that he has faced on fly balls, and 5 of them to Indalia in center, who has gotten quite a bit of work out there. That's 6 putouts for him in the game.
And to Capon's credit, none of those fly balls were really deep or into the gap or even kind of struck very hard. He's doing a great job of keeping them off balance, because those balls are just kind of lazy fly balls right now.
Curry bunting there, puts it down the 3rd baseline. Tough bunt, no play for Capon. Some good backspin on that one as well, just deadening it right there. And Curry, the bunt single, and he's aboard here in the 5th.
I love the idea. We haven't seen that weapon from either team this whole weekend, and right now you're trying everything you can to get to the NCAA regional, and so whatever you got in your repertoire, you got to pull it out. And as terrific a player as he is, he hasn't had a bunch of hits, and I think that's something that he saw the 3rd baseman a little back, and boy, that was a perfect bunt. Even if the 3rd baseman was up 4 more steps, he's safe.
Toss to first.
A lot of times after a drag bunt, you'll see action. You'll see the guy try to get himself right in a scoring position. I'll be interested to see if Curry's on the move.
Pitch to Blue. It's in the air, foul, right side and out of play. And it's 0-1. Blue doubled his last time up. He was the 2nd to last batter that Finan faced, and got stranded at 3rd there in that 3rd inning. So that's the first base runner Navy's recorded against Capon. The bunt single for Curry. That pitch is hitting the air out towards pretty deep left field. Schlick going back to the track. He reaches up and makes the catch. Curry was around 2nd base, had to make sure he retouched 2nd, and then scrambled back to 1st. There's a nice running catch there by Schlick. Pretty good contact by Blue, but he ran it down there. That's the second out here in the 5th inning.
That may be the best defensive play we've seen all weekend. Off the bat, that looked like that was going to be off the fence or at least trouble. And Schlick just took a great route. Really had it lined up the whole time as he was tracking it. I thought he had a good shot to get it. Just didn't know if he'd get to the ball. Really, really nice play. Saved the run and certainly a chance for another runner in scoring position.
Here's Stephen Bourne. First pitch inside. It's 1-0. We're 0 for 1. Drew a walk in the 3rd. He was the last batter that Finan faced. So his first look at Capon in this game. Pitch there, rolled right to first. Critelli has it. He steps on the bag, and no damage done from the Curry bunt single. Another scoreless frame here in the 5th. No runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left on base. We'll go to the 6th. Still all scoreless between Navy and Holy Cross. George Coughlin had some base runners on against him, but for the most part has been pretty sharp in this game. 5 strikeouts for him through 5 innings of work, and it's middle of the lineup. 2-3-4 due up against him. Cam O'Neill, seen it pretty well against him so far in this game, will lead things off. First pitch and a grounder to 3rd. Knowles has it, sets his feet, throws to first, and O'Neill retired for the first time in this game. Leadoff batter is set down for the 5th time in 6 innings.
Love to see both teams making the routine play. Pitchers pounding the zone. Ultimately, when this game is concluded, you want to see someone coming up with a big hit, and certainly not it be a defensive miscue. And to the credit of both sides, it's been a pleasure to watch, and particularly that play by Schlick last inning, as we said, maybe the highlight of the weekend from the defensive side.
Pretty close on the first pitch, but it's a ball to Critelli. 3-hole batter, 0 for 2. Getting into an inning-ending double play in the 3rd. Popped out to first. And Coughlin falls behind him 2-0. Coughlin's walked 1 batter. Also hit 1 batter. And allowed the 3 singles so far in this game, but right now 5 1/3 scoreless for the Navy starter. And that's a strike to get it to 2-1.
Again, Coughlin not giving in. 2-0 to the one of the most prolific power hitters in the league, and goes breaking ball.
That pitch is a chopper to the right side. Wilcox has it. Over to first, and a couple of easy ground ball outs here for Navy to begin things in the 6th inning. Coughlin rolling right along. 2 up and 2 down.
For those watching at home, pitching is not this easy. This weekend we've just seen kind of weak contact, simple outs, lazy fly balls. Give credit to both sides. Both staffs have been outstanding.
It's amazing on the other side for Capon on the fly balls outs that he has gotten, as first pitch bunted through there by Schlick, and it's 0-1. You wouldn't think that if 7 of the 9 batters you face have a ball that leaves the infield, the only one that would have reached against you was the one that didn't, the bunt single.
Again, he's got some late movement on the ball in that arm slot, so guys are thinking they're going to get themselves a line drive to the gap, and all of a sudden that ball runs 3 inches late, and it's a pop-up. And that's what a good pitcher will do.
That pitch is a little pop-up off the end of the bat, sprinting over Sale. He'll just run out of room. So he crashed into the wall over there, trying to make a play for his pitcher, and it's 1-2.
Looked like he wanted to run through that wall. That's what you love in these elimination games, is both teams are just selling out, and that was a great effort.
One-two pitch, checked at a ball low. They appeal to first, and they do indeed say that he held up on it. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Bases clear on the top of the 6th inning. Now the pitch again bounces it. Now it's full, 3-2. Schlick had 3 hits in game 1 today, but 0 for 2 in this one.
Again, Coughlin being careful here. Schlick's been pretty locked in all weekend, trying to keep him off second base. Really doesn't want to give him something to hit, so he went breaking ball. See what he finishes with.
Payoff pitch, foul back. Getting the 3-2 pitch, weak contact, right back to the mound. Coughlin gloves it. He'll run it halfway to first, underhand to Sale, and it's another 1-2-3 inning here in the 6th inning for Coghlan. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left on base. We'll go to the bottom half of the 6th inning, scoreless between Navy and Holy Cross. Hey fans, get the best of college sports first, including early Patriot League football previews from Campus Insiders. Follow Campus Insiders on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and by liking Campus Insiders on the Facebook page. Be the first to tell your friends what's happening in the world of college sports, both on and off the field, with Campus Insiders. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The first pitch from George Capon is taken by Sean Trent for a strike, and it's 0-1, and so still a scoreless game here in Game 3. It's evened up at 1-1. Trent, Deneen, and Sale here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Ben Gordon Goldstein, along with me, Lehigh head coach Sean Leary, watching some pretty good pitching here between both of these teams this weekend as the count goes to 2-1.
It'll be interesting to see how much longer they can go with Capon here. I think he's certainly given them everything and more than you could have expected in this Game 3. I'd imagine he won't want to come out, but I see the bullpen active, and combined first game and the second game here, he's had a lot of tough pitches. Every pitch he's thrown has been game on the line, 1-run game.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Trent. He's 0 for 2, and that pitch is a grounder towards the middle of the infield. Second baseman O'Neill has it, throws to first, and Trent is retired for the first out here in the 6th inning. It's Capon. That's now 3 innings in relief for him. Out of the bullpen, he's thrown exactly 30 pitches in this game after throwing 36 in the first game. He's done a great job. There's been just 1 base runner to reach against him. That was a bunt single by Curry in the 5th. First pitch to Deneen is swung on and sliced out towards left. Coming in, Schlick, he slides and makes the catch. Back-to-back innings for Schlick. Great plays in the 5th inning. Racing back makes a play, now coming in, makes the sliding catch and takes away a hit from Deneen.
You'll look back on the weekend, there'll be 4 or 5 plays that you either circle as a plus for your team or as a tough break, and Schlick's had 2 in the last 2 innings where he's absolutely changed the game with those 2 plays. That ball gets by him there, that's a triple. If he lays back on it, it's a single, but he was aggressive from the get-go and made a terrific sliding catch. That may have been more difficult than the inning prior.
I think there was some strange spin on that one, too, coming at him.
I like the way he dove, where he kept his eye level on the baseball. Too often guys dive with their glove first. He kind of slid into it, so you keep your eye on the ball. That's the correct technique.
So the count 0-2 here to Sale. He's 1 for 2. Pitch as a grounder right to third. Russo has it. Tosses across, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Capon. Another easy inning for George Capon here in the 6th. So we remain scoreless. Teams have had their chances so far in this game, but nobody able to push one across. We'll head to the 7th inning. No score between Navy and Holy Cross. Hey fans, you're watching today's contest on the Patriot League Network, powered by Campus Insiders. Again, you can watch all this action, patriotleague.tv, campusinsiders.com, as we are into the 7th inning of this game, and neither team has been able to push across a run. Navy had their best scoring opportunities in the 2nd and 3rd innings. They left a combined 5 runners on base in those 2 innings, and on the other side for Holy Cross, they had chances in the 1st and the 2nd against Coghlan, but he has really settled into this one. They left a runner in scoring position in the 1st and 1 on in the 2nd inning as well. And so now it's Coghlan back out here for the 7th inning. He's at 82 pitches in this game. And Josh Hassel will be the first one to face him here in the 7th inning.
As we chatted about already, both bullpens certainly have their next arm ready. We're late enough into the ball game where that guy could almost be going pitch for pitch with the pitcher on the mound in case they're needed.
First pitch of the 7th is taken low. It's 1-0. Coghlan is coming off a 1-2-3 inning in the 6th. He's tired 6 in a row since Wojtek had that leadoff single in the 5th. Pitch is popped up foul. Back it over our heads and out of play, and it's evened up at 1-1.
As Coach Sorenson showed earlier, though, it's sometimes not when you make the move, it's sometimes if you make it early enough. And he certainly had a good gut feeling getting finding out, and Capon certainly delivered.
It's low, and it's 2-1. Hassel and Cologne and Wojtek here in the top half of the 7th inning. A game all square at 0. Line score is exactly the same for both teams. No runs, 3 hits, no errors. That's a ball, and it's 3-1. Coglin's walked 1. That was in the 3rd. Hit Wojtek with a pitch in the 2nd. Now behind 3-1, and here's his pitch, and it's lifted in the air out towards shallow right field. Deneen coming on, and he makes the catch as Hassel gets jammed there on a 3-1 pitch. Rode kind of in on him and might have been ball 4. Instead, it's the first out in the 7th.
There's a case of a hitter who's had a tremendous season, obviously. Knowing he's getting a fastball and really wanted to be aggressive. I think he went a little bit out of his zone and kind of jammed himself because it was up in the zone, but can't fault the hitter there. He's just trying to make something happen.
Pitch to Cologne outside, and it's 1-0. So it's 88 pitches now for Coglin. It's interesting, Coglin able to work so deep into this game. Originally thought it was going to be Condrey first out of the pen, but at this point, may just be straight to Sorenson for Navy.
I saw Sorenson go down to the pen, I think, an inning ago. Started stretching, and as we noted, we don't see the pen from this vantage point, but my sense is they may go in either direction at this point.
Another 2-0 off speed pitch that he's able to catch the outside corner on.
Just been so impressed by both squads doing that all weekend.
Swing and a miss, back to back.
Doubled up. You got to tip your cap sometimes. I'm up here watching knowing that I don't know if I'd want to be facing either one of these teams where they're pitching this weekend.
Pitch there, very close. Now it's full 3-2 to Cologne. So for 2, couple of flyouts. Pitch is swung and popped way up in the air down the right field line. Sale, will he have enough room over there? He does. And makes the catch, kind of falling back. And Sale's made a couple of tough ones out there in foul territory, and that's the 2nd out, and not making his pitcher throw any extra pitches.
I'd give the pitcher credit there. Again, Coglin going breaking ball 3-2. Some folks would say attack, make him hit it. He went 3-2 breaking ball in a 0-0 game. And then give Sale credit. He's had a lot of tough chances in that foul ground, and that one again was so high it kind of came from out of play back into play, and he hung with it.
Here's Wojtek. He's reached base twice so far against Coglin. First pitch, fastball right at the knees. It's 0-1. Wojtek singled in the 5th, hit by pitch in the 2nd. It's 1-1 to him. Only 3 hits allowed so far in this game by Coglin. Wojtek, Russo, and O'Neill have the 3 so far for Holy Cross. That pitch is lifted high in the air, out towards left field. Playable, though, for Trent, who settles under it. He makes the catch, and it's back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Coglin here in the 6th and the 7th innings. Coglin's retired 9 in a row overall. Stretch time here at Max Bishop Stadium, and we are still scoreless between Holy Cross and Navy. Go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Scoreless game here between Holy Cross and Navy. Ben Gordon Goldstein sitting to my right is the head coach of the 2015 Patriot League champion, Lehigh Mountain Hawks, and watching some incredible pitching here this weekend. The teams have combined to allow just 8 runs total in the 3 games so far, and we are all scoreless as George Capon is going to come back out here for the 7th. He's thrown 3 2/3 innings of scoreless ball, and the only hit that he's allowed so far in this one was a bunt single by Robert Curry. Taking his time to lace up the cleats there for his third baseman, hands him the ball, and it'll be 7-8-9 due up. Adrian Chinnery, 2-time All-League catcher, lead things off, and the first pitch is ripped right into right field for a base hit. Is Chinnery coming off a 3-hit game in game 1. Rips a single into right, and the leadoff batter is aboard for Navy. for just the second time in this game. The other time was in the first.
That's a swing you see from Chinnery when he's on. That line drive kind of stays inside the ball. He's really scorched a couple now in his last 3 or 4 at-bats to right field and to right center. Obviously, we expect the bunt here, right?
Got to imagine Wilcox is bunting. He's already squared and bunts it foul behind the plate. Again, it continues to seem like situations where bunting situations, and it's Chinnery who doesn't run all that well on the base pads for Navy, but just trying to move him into scoring position. Wilcox, who's in a little chat there with Navy's third base coach, has bunted it well today. Game 1, he had 2 good bunts. One resulted in a bunt single RBI, the other a sacrifice. So trying to get another one down here. They're bunting the first one foul.
You saw the first pitch breaking ball, though. Holy Cross knew the bunt was coming, and as I mentioned earlier, difficult to bunt that breaking ball.
Squares again, pulls back on a fastball up high. They will appeal down to first. So he did get it back in time.
Wilcox appears more comfortable down the first base line. The first 2 he's executed, but it looked like that last one he tried to get down the third base line. And with Russo crashing, I think they're looking, obviously to get the lead runner in Chinnery.
Bunts that one foul. You can see a little frustration from Wilcox there. Now 1-2. So Holy Cross today keep a bunt on with 2 strikes on the batter. See what Navy elects to do here. 1-2 the count. Chinnery is at first with the leadoff single. Wilcox not able to get the bunt down to this point in the at-bat. Capon sets, he does square again, gets that one down, but back to the mound. Capon's going to wheel around, throw to second for one, relay back to first. Not in time. They very nearly turned a double play on that one. Instead, it goes 1-6 on the fielder's choice. The lead runner forced out. Wilcox is aboard, so a little more speed on the base paths, but Wilcox not able to get that sac bunt down to move a runner into scoring position, and there's one away.
I believe that's the 4th bunt the lead runner's been, where they've been able to put out the lead runner, and another time a strikeout result. So certainly bunting has been difficult for both sides, and certainly in these critical situations, you want to try to put that guy in scoring position.
I've not seen a runner in scoring position for either team. It's pretty close over there to first base. No runner in scoring position for either team since the 3rd inning, when Navy had runners at second and third with 1 out against Capon. He got out of that jam without giving up a run. Pitches outside to Knowles.
You made a great point, though. It seems like the average runners are on base, and sometimes maybe even the guys, a catcher's been back there all weekend, is certainly not going to be running at his peak speed at this point in the weekend, and you need a little more precise bunt. They've been able to get the lead runner a few times.
Bottom half of the 7th inning here. The decisive 3rd game of the Patriot League Championship Series. A scoreless game. Navy has a runner aboard. 9-hole batter Knowles at the plate. That's another strike to him, and it's 1-2. Knowles is 0 for 2 in this game. He was 0 for 4 in game 1 today. Now a quick throw to first.
This is really not a bad time to get a runner in motion. If they feel like a breaking ball is coming here, the bottom of the lineup up.
Pitch just got a piece of it, fouled it off behind the plate. It's 1-2. Wilcox has not really run much. He was a pretty good football player in high school as well. He was a wide receiver in high school in Minnesota. So you would imagine he can run a little bit, but just 1 for 2 in stolen base attempts this season. So that pitch is popped up on the infield behind the mound. Shortstop has it, and Lavello able to put it away. So Knowles retired. Back-to-back outs recorded there by Capon since allowing the leadoff single by Chinnery, and now it's back to the top of the lineup. And Robert Curry to the plate.
Yeah, sometimes you'll steal based on pure speed, and sometimes you'll steal based on situation. If you think a guy's going to try to bury a breaking ball or be a little slower to home on the breaking ball. So I don't know that they'll be super aggressive, but with your leadoff hitter up here, this is times where I'll think about it and say, hey, I got my leadoff guy up next inning if he's thrown out. But as you mentioned, they haven't made a lot of attempts, and again, Holy Cross is, much like Navy, has done a great job holding runners.
Curry's been on base twice in this game. Bunt single his last time up. First pitch to him, off speed in there. And Russo at third doesn't seem too concerned with Curry trying to lay down a 2-out bunt. He's back behind the bag there at third. But he back in the infield. Now the pitch. Hit foul, and quickly it's 0-2. Oh-2 pitch, swung and popped up foul territory, first base side. Critelli just runs out of room. It remains 0-2.
I commented a number of times over the last year. I wasn't sure we'd ever see a series like last year where every pitch and every game was just so tight. And here we have it again this year. We're in Game 3, and you're late in the ball game, and every single pitch these guys throw, it's a game on the line.
Pitch there is hitting the air out towards center field, but right towards Indalia, who will make the catch. Another put out for the center fielder, and the leadoff runner stranded at first base. No runs here in the 7th for Navy on 1 hit, and 1 runner left on base. On to the 8th. We remain scoreless here between Navy and Holy Cross. Navy is the senior Sam Sorenson, who enters his 24th game of the season. 4-2 record, 186 earned run average. He also had 6 saves, 37 strikeouts, and 38 2/3 innings of work for Sorenson. And now on to try to keep this a scoreless game here in the 8th. He'll face 8-9-1 in the Holy Cross lineup.
Well, Coughlin certainly did his job, pitching his team into the 8th inning with no runs. Just an outstanding performance.
First pitch from Sorenson in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Coughlin really did not run into much trouble in this game after the 2nd inning. A couple of runners in scoring position against him in the 1st and the 2nd. So that's fouled off, and it's 0-2. And even then, never had a runner reach 3rd base against him in this game.
Hey, stay behind me, go! Way ahead, here we go! Come on, baby! Way out, here we go, baby! On up, yo! Way ahead, kid! Way ahead!
Little split misses low, and it's 1-2. Sorenson got the win in Game 1. Pitching his scoreless 10th 1-2-3 inning. Bounces that one. Really needed 11 pitches to get through that inning, so he should be pretty fresh here for this game. Get a couple innings out of him if needed.
I get the sense it wasn't a matter of if Coughlin was good enough. He's a fresh Sorenson, even our best option, and that's obviously what Navy felt was what they wanted to go with in the 8th.
Pitch here is hitting the air out towards left center field. Curry going over, circles around and makes the catch. Leadoff batter retired. Coughlin actually retired the last 9 in a row that he faced. Ended up throwing 96 pitches in the game. But neither starter will factor into the decision here in Game 3. When Sorenson able to retire the leadoff batter here in the 8th, Bobby Indalia will come to the plate. Pitch is a strike. It's 0-1. Sorenson really does not walk very many batters, just comes in, pounds the strike zone. 8 walks total for him on the season.
Very versatile. He can come in for 1 inning or for multiple innings. That's something that you look to in a reliever. We had a kid Boswick this year who was 2nd team to Sorenson, and he did the same thing. Sometimes we need him for 3 outs. Sometimes we need him for 3 innings. And that's really what the Patriot League needs in those 7 and 9 inning games, is to have a reliever that has the ability to kind of extend a little bit. And you see it for Capon today. Boy, he did the same thing. 1 in the 1st game, or late innings 1st game, and now extending in the 2nd game.
0-2 pitch now. Spoils that one, fouls it off. Capon in this one has gone 4 2/3 innings out of the pen after they pulled Finan in the 3rd inning with 1 out. So their starter lasts just 2 1/3. Pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out, blew a fastball right by him. 2 up and 2 down here in the 8th.
Coughlin's got a good fastball, but Sorenson has a little bit more behind it, and I think especially towards the end of the game, we've seen Sorenson up in the upper 80s, low 90s. That looked like that was every bit of that right there.
So here's Lovello, probably a guy who's happy to see Coughlin out of the game. He was 0 for 3 with 3 Ks against Coughlin. And gets a look here at Sorenson. First pitch to him, over for a strike. Sorenson comes out here, pounding the strike zone. 10 pitches, 8 strikes so far.
But once again, that off-speed pitch for a strike, 0-0. Not many hitters are sitting on a slider at or third, 0-0. Certainly they shouldn't be.
Pretty close there, misses for a ball. It's 1-1.
We often talk about scouting reports, and I say to our pitchers, who wants to hit the slider off the plate 3 inches? Just have to execute that pitch, and Sorenson's showing right here, if you throw it there, it's very difficult to do anything with it.
Pitch swinging away, and he fouls it off. Now 2 strikes on another batter, so Sorenson trying to make it 3 straight 1-2-3 innings for the Navy pitching staff. One-two pitch, down in the dirt, 2-2.
What a luxury to have catchers who allow you to bury that pitch. Confidence to say, I don't have to throw this for a strike because my catcher's going to make sure if there's a swing and a miss, it'll be an easy 2-3 put out.
Pitch, swinging a chopper right back to the mound. Sorenson has it, tosses to first, and Sam Sorenson comes in here in the 8th inning and throws a 1-2-3 inning. Navy pitching staff has retired 12 in a row. We'll head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Scoreless game between Navy and Holy Cross. Go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. No score between Navy and Holy Cross. And Gordon Goldstein, Lehigh head baseball coach Sean Leary back with you. 2-3-4 due up for Navy here in the 8th inning against George Capon, who has been tremendous in relief. 4 2/3 innings of shutout ball. Travis Blue will lead things off. And the first pitch misses inside to him. And it counts 1-0.
Ben, I'm going to retract my statement in the 3rd inning saying that Capon may be difficult to get in the late innings. He certainly proved me wrong.
Pitch was lined just foul.
He's just been outstanding and efficient. I think that's been the key to it. He's really had some quick innings, pounding the zone, using his defense. Terrific job.
Pitch there, lifted in the air, softly out towards left center field. In Dahlia over. It's another put out there for the center fielder. A lot of weak fly balls. And Blues retired. Now Stephen Bourne will come to the plate.
Obviously with the middle of the lineup coming up here, you're hoping for a guy maybe to drive a gap, put themselves in scoring position, and give themselves a chance to win the ball game with one more hit.
First pitch ball there to Bourne. It's 8 putouts for the center fielder in Dahlia. It's 1-1 to Bourne.
A lot of the guys earning their meal money today.
That's a called strike, and now it's 1-2. Working very quickly, and that pitch is looped out towards shallow center, and it'll dunk in there for a base hit. Just off the end of the bat, Bourne able to get it just over the outstretched glove of the second baseman O'Neill. And Navy has just their 3rd hit against Capon, and it comes with 1 out here in the 8th inning.
Once again, Capon not allowing hard contact. Ball was down in the zone, had him off balance a little bit. Give Bourne credit, just stayed back enough to poke it over the infield.
First pitch to Trent, over for a strike. It's 0-1. Trent 0 for 3 in this game.
That's certainly the guys you want to see up if you're Navy right now with a chance to win the ball game.
Pitch there is swung on and hit in the air down the right field line. Hassel giving chase. He won't get there. It's a fair ball and will kick into the corner. Bourne heading for 3rd. They're going to hold him up there. Trent into 2nd. just went the other way there, just fair down the line. Pretty good job by Hassel to play it out of the corner cleanly and make sure Bourne can't score from first on the play. But now Navy has the go-ahead run over at third with less than 2 outs here in the 8th inning.
I probably echoed this a bunch of times. Really not a bad pitch. Kind of off the end of the bat, just found the line. I mean, Hassel was on his horse and just couldn't quite get there, but it certainly wasn't a ball driven. But give Trent credit. Not trying to do too much. All the hitters right now just trying to fight, scrap, get on base, but that just was perfect placement.
So we'll see what Holy Cross decides to do here. Wojtek will go to the mound with the shortstop Lavello. You do have first base open. Left-handed batter up at the plate against the right-hander Capon. Situation where you decide to walk him maybe, load up the bases, set up the double play, or go after Deneen.
Quite honestly, the way he's throwing strikes, it wouldn't be a bad strategy. It looks at the moment, Coach D is going to go out and talk it over, which is a great move here. You want to be sure. I think he pointed to the pen already, if I'm not mistaken. Well, maybe not.
So the entire infield's going to come in and talk about this. Second and third here, 1 out. Deneen's at the plate. Deneen is hitless today, both games combined. He is 0 for 7. You have Leland Sale waiting behind him. It's got a little bit of pop, and Sale might be the hitter that be more likely to hit one deep enough for a sac fly. So all of this being discussed right now on the mound.
Yeah, what I saw was Coach DeSenza actually pulling his infield in, because not only does he want to talk to Capon here, he wants to make sure he's positioning the guys, explaining the strategy. You know, if they attack here, obviously they're going to be in, but if they decided to walk him, he probably would play the middle back and try to turn a double play. Boy, this is just as exciting as it could possibly get here. Literally comes down to execution.
And they are going to put Deneen on here as Wojtek sticks the glove out. And so they'll look to walk him here.
This is always an adventure. Guys never practice this. And I've seen 2 or 3 games decided guys trying to intentionally walk him. Capon looks like he's got this under control.
So it'll be the bases loaded now. It'll be the second time in this game that Navy has had them loaded. They had them loaded in the second. That was with 2 outs. They also had second and third in the 3rd inning with 1 out. Couldn't get a run home and bring Leland Sale to the plate. Sale also doesn't run all that well, so a ground ball, definitely a candidate to hit into the double play as the 4th intentional ball is dealt.
But Ben, as you've mentioned, Capon's amazingly lived with a lot of fly balls, so he can induce a ground ball here for sure, but we've seen so many flyouts. My guess is they would probably take a chance here, even if it was a shallow fly ball or deep enough to take a chance. Be exciting to see again. Mano a mano right here to see who wins this battle.
Bourne runs pretty well at third. Here's Leland Sale standing in, bases loaded. First pitch swinging, he pops it up. Foul territory, first base side. Critelli going over. Does he have room? Just into the first row of the stands.
That was really close. Critelli came a long way. I bet you he was 3 or 4 feet from making a leap into that stand to try to make that play.
So Leland Sale, aggressive first pitch swinging. Sale, 1 for 3 so far in this game. The set, now the pitch, swinging away, and he lifts that one out towards pretty deep center field, and Dahlia going back should be plenty deep to score the run. Tagging from third is Bourne. He will score. Trent into third, and Leland Sale with a sacrifice fly here in the bottom half of the 8th inning, and it puts Navy out in front. It's 1-0.
Well, I give Sale credit there. Potentially the season on the line for both sides there. Certainly Holy Cross is going to, I'd be shocked if they don't come back swinging in the top of the 9th, but that first run right there, I think there was probably a little more pressure on the hitter just based on the 0-0 score, and just kept it simple. Moved a couple runners. Now I would not be surprised if you see a delay steal or even a straight steal here, just because Holy Cross most likely will just let the runner down, let the runner get to second base.
Holy Cross will have 2-3-4 due up in the 9th inning, and Navy all of a sudden 3 outs away heading to the NCAA tournament. So the first pitch to Chinnery, 0-1, and now Chinnery, 2 outs in the inning, has a chance for a big insurance run here. He has swung it well today, 4 hits so far in the 2 games today. Trent got himself to third, and 2 quick strikes here on Chinnery.
This may be as big a run as any. You get that extra run, really would put the pressure on Holy Cross in the 9th.
Chinnery does not strike out much, just 7 Ks total on the season. That one's down and away, and it's 1-2.
Capon still hitting location. Even this inning really was not hit all that hard. That sac fly might have been the hardest hit ball of the inning.
1-2 pitch, reaches out, pops it up, first base side. Critelli in foul territory, makes the catch, and the inning comes to an end, but not before Navy pushes across the first run of the game. They score a run on 2 hits, and they leave 2 runners on base. We'll head to the 9th. Navy will try to get back to the NCAA tournament, 3 outs away from doing so. Holy Cross will try to rally. So we go to the 9th inning, 1-0. Navy leads it on the Leland Sale sacrifice fly, scored Stephen Bourne, and now Sam Sorenson, the senior, will try to pitch his team into the NCAA tournament as Navy trying to get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2011. Holy Cross trying to push one across to extend this game. 2-3-4 due up. Cam O'Neill will lead things off. Sorenson's first pitch in there for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Obviously a big batter here. They want to get that leadoff guy on, put a little pressure on Sorenson.
O'Neill is 1 for 2 in the game, single and a walk. Grounded out to third last time up. Pitch, weak grounder, foul, and it's 0-2. Maybe pitching staff has not allowed a base runner since the 5th. 12 in a row retired combined by Coughlin and Sorenson. As Coughlin allowed only 2 hits over 7 shutout innings. Sorenson a 1-2-3 inning in the 8th inning. Now he's got O'Neill, the leadoff batter here in the 9th, 0-2. The set, and the pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Had him reaching on the off-speed pitch. Sorenson 2 Ks here today. He's now retired all 7 that he has faced in this series.
That might have been unhittable. Just watching the break, the late break on this pitch. Perfect location. The adrenaline's flowing. I think he's got a little extra tight spin going on that breaking ball right there. That was absolutely perfect.
Here's Critelli now. Rehole batter. First pitch to him. Down and away. And the count's 1-0. Critelli, one of 2 guys on this team that has 9 home runs on the season. Certainly a few guys that can tie this with 1 swing of the bat. The pitch there, fouled off, and it's 1-1.
And Sorenson does not back down. He's going to come at you, and so this is power on power. And Critelli certainly has the ability right here with 1 good swing to tie it. But Sorenson obviously looking to locate.
Bounces that one, it's 2-1. Critelli 0 for 3 in the game. Holy Cross just trying to get that game-tying run on. Put a little pressure on Sorenson here in the 9th. It's 1-0. Navy leads it on an 8th inning sac fly. Pitch there, grounded just foul.
Game of inches, great swing, got his pitch. That was about maybe a foot or 2 foul. And even with a no doubles defense, that was by Knowles. He smoked that.
Chinnery will go out and talk with Sorenson here. Make sure they know how they want to attack him now with 2 strikes.
You know, Ben, very often when a guy pulls a fastball like that foul, he'll say to him, hey, just throw something softer, see if he can stay back on it. Be surprised if he doesn't try to throw his breaking ball here, try to extend the zone, and certainly try to keep Critelli from maybe being a little bit ahead of it.
Set the pitch low, and now it's full.
Right thought process, just not the execution he wanted.
Here's the payoff pitch now, and he loses him to a walk. So Critelli able to get himself on here. The tying run is on base. That's the first base runner for Holy Cross since the 5th inning, and it looks like they're going to pinch run for him. John Escobar is going to come in and pinch run here. been used a few times this season as a pinch runner. He has scored 3 runs this season. Normally a reliever, and so he's aboard here with 1 out in the 9th inning. Tying run is aboard. Bill Schlick, who swung it well in game 1 today with 3 hits, 0 for 3 here in this one. Stand in. First pitch swinging, chops it foul. You can see Knowles over there at third, right on top of the bag almost, guarding the line. Pretty
the outfield
deep in
and
the outfield.
Both trying to keep this runner off second base. And obviously at the same time, they'd keep the runner from first from scoring in their defensive positioning.
Pitch tried to check it, a ball down and away. Pretty nasty there from Sorenson. And now it's 0-2.
As athletic as Escobar is, I'm not certain he's a candidate for a stolen base here as a everyday pitcher or a reliever for them. But certainly you put your fastest guy out there in this situation, and that's their selection.
0-2 pitch. Was down. Navy side wanted the call, but it's 1-2.
Chinnery likes to do that 0-2. Just extend off the plate a little bit with the fastball. Maybe you get a swing and miss, but certainly set up this pitch.
1-2 offering, again misses with it. Now it's even 2-2, and Chinnery's going to go out and have another word with him. Get it on 2-2 pitches to Cortelli and Schlick here.
What more could you ask for? The best hitters for Holy Cross facing the best reliever in the league right now, and this is what it's all about. Again, we talk about it a bunch of times. It's execution right here. Someone's going to come through, and their team's going to be winning the ball game.
The set, 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out, blew a fastball by him there. That is 3 Ks from Sorenson, and Navy is now 1 out away from heading back to the Patriot League, from winning the Patriot League Championship Series.
With some late life on that pitch. Had to put it in that exact spot to tie up Schlick, and he did. Risky pitch. You don't want to miss, but give him credit and give Chinnery credit for getting in there.
So here's Hassel trying to extend the season for Holy Cross. First pitch low, and it's 1-0.
The adrenaline pumping in both dugouts is something I can only describe. I've been on both ends, up 1 and down 1, and it is really intense down there.
The set, 1-0 pitch, called a strike. Hassel kind of buckled out of the way of it, maybe thinking it was in, but now it's 1-1. Hassel, another guy, 9 home runs on the season.
Also capable with 1 swing right here.
Cortelli at first and 2 down. 1-1 pitch is a chopper over to third. Knowles has it. He sets his feet, fires a little low. Sale has it, and Navy is the 2016 Patriot League champions as they mob their pitcher on the mound there, and a dog pile for Navy, who wins 1-0 in 3 games here in the Patriot League Championship Series, and they are headed back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2011.
What a series. What a series. You know, I think back a year ago watching Navy as the game ended, the look in their eye that they were going to get back and this time do it. And not only did they, I wouldn't be surprised if Holy Cross is that same team next year. What an amazing run for Navy, 42 wins, and now a chance to go on to the NCAAs.
Amazing pitching from both sides, but for Navy in this game, they never allowed a runner to reach third base, and a runner didn't get past second base or get to second base since the 2nd inning. So really, there was high tension throughout this game, but Holy Cross did not have many scoring opportunities.
And that's credit to the pitching. It really was not a matter of Holy Cross is a really dangerous lineup up and down. We've talked about the power, the average, the on-base percentage of those guys. That just simply, we always say great pitching beats very good hitting, and I think that was the case on both sides this weekend, and Navy was just fortunate to get 1 run across.
So the teams shaking hands for the final time is once again the final score here from Annapolis, 1-0. Navy wins this one over Holy Cross. Will be